Welcome back to the Grumpy Historian's Guides. Today I'm looking at the second episode of The Pillars of the Earth entitled Master Builder, which you've already seen in my introduction. And here we are right at the beginning of the episode in which Tom Builder and his family have entered Kingsbridge for the first time, the fictional city in which most of the story is set. Now I can see a problem here immediately. Can you spot it? Come on, I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2... You can see it straight away. Where's the grass? This is all just dirt and mud. There's not a blade of grass to be seen anywhere. What's going on here? They've entered a major settlement and there's literally no grass growing. This is the 12th century. Are we supposed to assume that there was no grass in medieval England because it was so bad and horrible and everything was so filthy and dirty? Or maybe we're supposed to think grass hadn't been invented yet. But then there's hay and straw, so yeah, what are hay and straw made out of? They're made out of grass, a type of wild growing grass. There's real inconsistency here, and this is giving me cause to kind of whinge from the moment the programme starts. Where's the grass? So the next part I want to look at is this. Kingsbridge Cathedral is on fire, it's burning. Yeah, the clue, Jack did it. They're all sort of looking on in horror as the whole thing's on fire. Now, it's the way that this thing goes which I find strange here. A cathedral like that, yeah, the wooden parts, the roof, etc. would burn quite quickly, but I think most of the main structure, being made of stone, probably wouldn't burn. Just doesn't seem like it would. It'd be quite structurally sound, the parts that weren't made of wood, the struts and things. Look what happens here. Look, literally, it explodes and crumbles. I mean, how? How exactly is that going to happen to a wooden structure? People maybe leave comments here, people who know a lot more about construction than me. But seriously, this is meant to be a stone cathedral and it literally just explodes and crumbles in itself as if it's been blown up by dynamite. Look, I mean, just doesn't seem credible somehow, unless it was made of polystyrene or something, or unless the mortar was very weak. And it's still burning the day after. Now, perhaps the wooden parts would be, but the stone, I mean, really? Yeah, I'm not buying this.
So the other part I wanted to comment on, I always start that way, is this. This is the scene where Ellen is about to be arrested for witchcraft by the evil Bishop Whaler and by God, which, as I said in my previous video, there weren't any witch trials in the Middle Ages, or at least not until a lot later, the 14th, 15th century. So they've bought into the whole trope that medieval people were paranoid about witchcraft. I think Ridley Scott, who produced this, has bought into that idea. The other thing that they've done with this scene, or these two scenes, is they've changed the book. Because in the book, in the scene where Ellen is about to describe what happened to Jack's father, he was not, as is shown here, burned for witchcraft or blasphemy. In the book, he was hanged for stealing a chalice, I think, from the bishop. You know, here it says, oh, that's blasphemy. No, in the book it was clearly portrayed as hanging for stealing, which is a lot more accurate on the whole. Why they chose to make it that he was burned at the stake, I don't know. As I say, I think they're just buying into the whole medieval witch burnings idea because it's a popular trope. But I just find it a bit silly, and the following scene where she curses the people who are involved, that is in the book, but not a lot is made of it in the book. It's kind of just a minor thing, whereas in this version it's huge, it's made a massive deal of. And the other thing I want to talk about is a continuity thing. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, right? When Ellen unfolds her story about Jack's father, it's night time. Okay. Then the following scene, when the soldiers come and arrest her, it's the day again, and yet she said she was going to leave straight away. But clearly several hours have supposedly passed because it's clearly bright light outside, bright sunlight. And then when they drag her away to the prison cell, which is supposedly only a couple of miles away, the moon's out. I mean, what's going on there? First it's night, then it's not, then it is again. So that's basically it. It ends with Matilda preparing to return home and Tom Builder preparing to build the new cathedral. The episode's okay. I mean, a few things necessary to the storyline happen, but some silly things happen too, especially the weird incest dynamic between William and Regan Hamley, which also isn't in the book. My stupidity ranking again is 5 out of 10, and unfortunately YouTube keep blocking my videos even though they come under fair use rules, so you might have to follow me on Patreon or Facebook, or they're also available on Daily Motion. Yeah, the Patreon details are coming up now, and goodbye peasants.